Hey, ready? Welcome to week 5. I am very excited about this week. I know I always say that, but you guys are really fun and interesting, and I like hearing what you have to think. And this week, I start getting to hear what you have to think about gender, and I'm really excited about that. So first, let's look at some pictures. Well, first, before we get to those pictures, this is an app called Zoto. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. But it's an app that you can use to annotate online without having to print stuff out. So I wanted to show it with you. I want to show it to you. Zoto, the URL, you can see up here in the top left-hand corner, zodo.com. It's one of the easier ones to use, and it might help you out with the annotation that you have to do this week. And we're going to talk about that more in just a minute. But if you just Google annotation app, I'm Googling annotation app right now, there's like a bazillion of them. So wait, let me just move. So here we go. There's like so many annotation apps. So take a look at that if you want to find something that will make it easier for you to annotate your reading online. This week, you're going to really need to annotate because you're going to be writing a summary. And I want to talk about that more in a minute, but first I want to look at some pictures. Okay, so here, let's look at some pictures. This is Cardi B, right? She really kind of creeps me out because she's like so fake looking. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings if you like Cardi B, but, and by the way, WAP, the song from the summer, totally not revolutionary. We can talk about that. Totally not revolutionary at all. Whatever. Cardi B. Let's see. I'm going to look up. Here we go. Our First Lady. Also, like, very, very feminine. I know she's really feminine. People think Trump is really masculine. I can talk about that. But, like, also, like, creeps me out. She's very fake looking. But anyway, like, Cardi B, Melania Trump, these are, like, we might say like traditional feminine women, maybe interested in what you think about that. Are they traditional feminine women? Okay, and we think about them. We might think about, oh, Amanda Nunes. She is awesome. She's a UFC fighter. Here we go. Here's some pictures of Amanda Nunes. I think she just won a fight a couple weeks ago. There we go. We come over here. Here's Amanda Nunes with a nice round kick to the face. She clearly is not a traditionally feminine woman. Okay, so we have so far to think about. We have Cardi B, we have Amanda Nunes, and then I'm going to show you one of my other favorite fighters. Wait a minute, where did he go? Oh, here we go. Let me find him. Okay, that was the wrong picture of him. I want to show you this picture of him first. Julio Arce. He is one of my favorite fighters. I train at Tiger Schulman's, and he is one of our Tiger Schulman's fighters. Let me see if I can show you this picture of Julio. Traditional masculine man, right? Beard. He's a fighter. Here he is. Here's Julio covered in blood. In this fight, I can't remember. I think it was a cross he took. Anyway, he had a really bad cut, like right over his eye. And you know, face wounds, they like bleed a lot. So he's just like bled through the whole fight. And by the end of the fight, the two of them were just like absolutely covered in blood. But he like smiled through the whole thing. That's Julio's thing, is he smiles a lot and he fights really hard. And there he is, being really masculine man. But here, look at Julio here. Look, wait, look. Oh, wait, it's all the way over here. Let me move the screen over here. Look at Julio with his puppy. There's Julio. I think that's his wife. And look, there's the puppy here. I'm going to show you another picture of Julio with his puppy. Oh, wait. No, here we go. I'm going to show you the picture of Julio with his puppy. Look at Julio with the puppy. And the hairband, like, not so, like, traditionally masculine. So here's this guy. He's like a badass MMA fighter with his puppy. So, like, Julio might make us think about gender a little differently. Here, I want to show you some pictures. This is a photographer. His name is Nir Ariely, and he has some really interesting pictures of men looking like not so masculine, and in some ways looking very masculine. I don't know, it raises like a lot of questions as to like what counts as masculine. How do we think about masculine? And then finally, I want to show you this. This was really interesting. This is a model called Rain Dove. Okay, I'm going to just show you these pictures. There's Rain Dove. Okay, there's another picture. That's this model. His name is Rain Dove. And there's some more pictures. Look at that. Same person, but dressed differently. Same person. Here we go. Let's look at some more. There's the exact same person doing the exact same thing, but just dressed differently. And so I wanted to show you this stuff, like, just to have us thinking about, we want to think about male and female as, like, something clear and simple and absolute that we can, like, easily label or point to or figure out what it is. And I'm not sure it is. And a lot of times when we say, like, I feel like if we think about challenging norms of masculinity or femininity or whatever, that seems really like a little bit out there or whatever. But I think if we look at somebody as ordinary, let's come back to Julio just because he's so cute with his puppy, right? Julio is like not an out there kind of person. He runs a mixed martial arts school in Bayside, New York, and he's a fighter. But he maybe is like challenging some gender norms without even really thinking about it. So what this really does is, like, what I want you to be thinking about here is this question of, like, how do we know what gender norms are and where do they come from and how well do we follow them? And then when you take that open sex role inventory test, at the end, make sure you take a picture of your results, because what I want to talk about in class this week is that grid. So that gives you the results in this grid. Not like even a spectrum of male to female, but a grid with 4 parts. And what I want to talk about with you is this idea of, like, is that how gender works? Like, it's not even just male and female. It's not even that you're particularly masculine or particularly feminine. It might just be that, like, right, if we come back to this person, right, this person is maybe just not very gendery, right? Like, maybe not really strongly one thing or the other. So these are the kind of questions we're going to talk about. I know it's a little abstract, but that's part of why we're thinking about it, because all of you have to wake up in the morning and navigate a world that requires you to have some kind of gender role, and we have to figure it all out. So we are going to use your experience and your thinking to think about this. So let's take a look at our class real quick for this week. Okay, so this week you have that open sex role inventory test. You have a video on the definition of gender. I love this video because she looks like somebody's grandmother. I love Kamala Basan. You have the sociology textbook reading. So the reason why we're doing that is, 1, to get the information. You're going to actually use this information. And 2, to have you practicing reading a textbook. So we're doing a lot of different kind of reading in this class, and you need different strategies to read different things differently, right? So the things you read last time were not fact-based, whereas the sociology chapter is more fact-based, and you have to be able to pull out the information and process it. So you are going to be writing a summary of that chapter. In order to write your summary, you really need to be able to take good notes. If you try to write that summary just from memory, it's going to be painful and it's not going to come out good. But if you take good notes, you will be able to write that summary pretty well. As you're taking those notes, in the past when we did annotating, I asked you to look for anchors, questions, and reactions. So anchors were things you understood, questions were things that you had questions about, and reactions were your reactions. Now think about, like, what are important big ideas in this chapter? What are some details that you want to hold on to? And then also do questions and reactions. And just because it's a textbook doesn't mean you can't disagree with it. You might disagree with it or ask questions. So as you're doing notes, think about that. Think about important big ideas, important details, questions, reactions, and set up a piece of paper while you're reading to do that note-taking, and you will almost certainly have to read this more than once. But if you have good notes, writing your summary will be easy. Okay, before you write your summary, please make sure that you take a look at the assignment for the summary, because the assignment has some directions on it. All right, so here's your first post. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. And here's the summary assignment. You're going to click right here where it says Sociology Textbook Summary Assignment .doc. If you click right there, it's going to download into the bottom left-hand corner. And then you can open up the document. You can write your summary right on that document. Okay, and that document has some instructions for how you should write the summary. So please make sure that you read that assignment carefully before you write your summary. Okay, we're not going to wait for that. Oh, there we go. So there you go. You can see it gives you some notes, some ideas. So make sure you read that first. Then you can write your summary right on that. Oh, you probably can't see that. Oh, how annoying. Okay, and then you can click right here where it says Sociology Textbook Summary. Click here to upload your summary. That is the drop box where you are going to put your completed document. And you have only one discussion board post this week. So we have some specific instructions though, okay? So you have some particular questions here to write about after you've done the open sex role inventory, and you are going to respond to at least one other student, and you will ask a question in your response, and then you have to respond to the questions people ask you, right? So let's say I posted something about Amanda Nunes, and let's say Kayla said, why is it that you like mixed martial arts? That seems like a really unusual thing for a middle-aged mother to like. I might answer that and say, I really like martial arts because I like fighting people, and it's very empowering, and I love seeing my children grow up in a school where men and women are treated equally and they both get to fight. So I would post something, maybe Kayla would ask me a question, and I'm going to go back and answer it. So you are going to be posting a lot, even though there's only one question, and we're going to do this throughout the week. So I'm really excited to have this week. Let's come. There's Julio again. He's so cute, a puppy. So I'm really excited to hear what you think this week. Please let me know any questions you have. I'm looking forward to seeing you in class. Please do the open sex role inventory before you come to class, because we're going to talk about it in class. And have a great week, everybody.